sometimes things just don't happen the way we want them to go. Hello and Merry Christmas! Welcome back to another Road Tripping with Rachel. I'm Rachel and I love to take people along with me on trips on the road, through the Bible, and even through life. But right now we are in the middle of Vlogmas. So this is going to be an example of what happens when things don't go quite the way you planned. So I actually had filmed a video showing my first experience soap making. I've never made soap before. And when I went to upload the video, like I made it, edited it, everything was great. I went to upload it and like nothing would upload. I was so upset. So, I figure I'm just going to talk about the experience and I'll show you what I ended up making. I might have still some pictures from it, so I'll try and include those here throughout the video too. But I decided I wanted to make soap. I've always wanted to be able to make it because I secretly want to be this little Susie homemaker who homesteads and like makes all the things. And I like searched throughout Pinterest. I found a bunch of different tutorials for it. I did not go with the route that uses lye because I've never taken a chemistry class. I know I managed to make it to a master's degree without that, but I am not at the point I trust myself to use chemicals. So I went on ahead and made the decision to go with the soap base, so that way like everything was already done for me on that front, and then I added the different scents and additives to it that would get me the outcome that I wanted. So I had gone to just Hobby Lobby. I purchased some soap base. I used coconut soap base. Eventually, I think I want to try doing this again with like goat milk soap base, but I decided to go with the coconut one because one, I know I'm not allergic to it and I know no one in my family is. So that way if I gave this out to anybody, that I didn't have to worry about there being like an allergic reaction or anything like that. And I bought 2 pounds of it, and then I divided it up into 4 different blocks. Now, you shouldn't really do this, but I have a stoneware pan that has it's meant to where you could bake like 4 loaves. I have personally, like, I really don't use it that often. I found it was a great deal, which is why I got it. I have quite a collection of stoneware, but normally you would never put soap in stoneware. I don't really use it that often, so I don't feel too bad about using it, and a good scrub will take care of it. And then like, it'll be fine. But I also lined it and everything like that. But I used an immersion blender after I melted everything. I melted the soap base, and then I used an immersion blender, and then I added the different scents and things like that that I wanted in the soap. So I did each of these 4 separately because I wanted to test 4 different scents. So of those 4, I did lavender and lemon. So this is kind of how it ended up coming out. It's really pretty. So I am a tea drinker, so I actually have lavender buds that I use in some of my teas. So I added the lavender, and then I added the some lemon essential oil to it, and then I let it start to harden, and then I did like the swoopy swoop on it, and then I added some zested lemon and some additional buds to it. It ended up looking really pretty. I did show this to my younger sister. She told me it looked like blue cheese. I was like, you're so mean to me. But to me, it smells really good. I got about 8 bars out of it, and I like the smell of this one. To me, it smells very, very fresh. I did another one where I used rosehip oil. So I added rosehip and bergamot to it. So this one, there's nothing in it, but I noticed that whenever I used the immersion blender, it made it foamy. So it actually, like, some of the stuff separated. So it looks like there's 2 layers here. This one is really subtle. I like this one. It doesn't have a really strong scent to it, but it's a nice, refreshing, it kind of, a little bit of a savory scent. I don't know how else to explain it. Like, it's not super flowery. I thought it might be with the rosehip oil in it, but it's actually between that and the bergamot. It's a very refreshing, more like savory scent. I really like this one. I think it's going to be really easy on the hands, and it's not overly powerful. Then I did another one. So some of these scent combinations I found like through Pinterest. So I'll try and remember to link some of the things that I looked at. I looked at so many of them when I was like looking to see like how to do this. And then by the time I settled on what would be like a decent method and scent combination. I don't remember which one I actually looked at anymore. Now this one this one is, I love how the colors worked. This one is cinnamon and then cranberry mandarin. So I used cranberry mandarin essential oil. So it's got the cranberry and mandarin orange oils in it, and then cinnamon, and then I dusted some cinnamon over the top of it. To me, it kind of looks a little bit like a cookie if you see it from the side, with how everything's separated. I think it's so cool how like you got the darker colors on the bottom and then like up top it got lighter. So neat. I really like this one. My sister actually liked this one the most. She said as she was ordering them in scents, she liked this one. I find it refreshing. It's kind of got that earthy scent from the cinnamon, and then it's got that really refreshing like cranberry orange scent, that citrus scent to it. I really, really liked it. And then this one I'm kind of the most excited about just because this one, well, I take that back. I really like the ones that you can use food in. Like the lavender and the lemon. I really like those mainly because, to my way of thinking, those are things that like most people would have in their house anyway, or you could grow it or things like that. I can't really grow like I don't grow rose hips. I don't grow anything that you would get like bergamot from. But you know, I regularly have lemons on hand. I regularly have lavender on hand because of like my tea drinking and things like that. So this one is another one that I would regularly have the ingredients on hand for, and it is oatmeal honey. Now this is much thicker than the other ones. Oops, excuse me. Much thicker than the other ones. I think that is because of the oatmeal. Now in all the things I was looking at, I couldn't find ratios. So I had to kind of take a guess. So I basically pulverized about half a cup of oatmeal for this half a pound. I think that was probably too much. But the oatmeal like rose. So like the top is where like almost all the oatmeal is, but then like the color from it also affected it. And then I added honey to it. So I actually got my honey from a local seller. There is like during the summers where I live at, there is a farmer's market. They do sell the honey there, but there is actually a fruit and vegetable stand, and like a permanent farmer's market that's close to my parents' house. So anytime I am home and they're open, I try to swing by and pick up produce and things like that there, because one, they're also a small business, but two, I like being able to get, you know, stuff that's fresh and it's coming from farmers and things like that. Although right now, you know that a lot of it is being grown in greenhouses, but I digress. So this one I'm actually quite excited about, just because I think it smells great. 2, it would be easy to make. 3, it's got a lot of stuff in it that's going to be really good for your skin. So I'm still considering if I want to give these out as gifts to like my aunts. Possibly there's a lot of people with allergies that I go to church with, so I'm a little nervous about giving something homemade out to them because I don't know what allergies are like in their families' homes. So probably, but I know no one's allergic to any of this stuff with my aunts. So I think I might give some of these out to my aunts, like put them all in like little packs and give them to my aunt. And give some to my mom. My sister's already looked at them and she just wasn't impressed. So I'm probably not going to give them to my sibling. But I had a lot of fun making these. I had built up in my mind that it was going to be much harder than what it actually was. But it actually ended up being fairly simple. All things considered, I just had to really make sure that I had everything planned out and that I was weighing things, because this is science. So I was weighing and measuring things. This was not one of those, I did not treat this the way I would cooking. Like I thought about the amount of oatmeal I wanted to put into it and I really measured it. Even though I think I was still off on the ratio, I did make sure that I measured everything out for this because this is a science. So I would say if you're wanting to get into soap making, I started with Pinterest and I just started pinning stuff like, okay, how do you get the different colors? How do you get the different scents? What are the different methods to soap making? You know, and there's so much out there, and the people that are into it are really into it. But they're also like, do you just want to start with the base? I decided to start with the base, but you can also like, how do you do different fats? So like while I was thinking about it, I did get like tallow, and I have different oils and stuff that I regularly cook with. that can also be used in soap making, but the big kicker was I would have to get lye to help them combine into make them like soapy, you know, where you get the suds and everything out of it and not just have it be like a grease pit. But like I said, I didn't take a chemistry class, so I was nervous about messing with lye. And that was a wise choice on my part, because I also would needed to have gotten gloves and goggles and the whole 9 yards. Might move in that direction eventually, but as for right now, I am not ready for that, so I did not go in that direction. So, sorry that this particular Vlogmas isn't nearly as exciting as some of the other things that I'm doing on here, like where I've already, I think by this point, I've wrapped presents, I have done cookie decorating, I've got a lot of other stuff that is planned for throughout the month, but yeah, I've decorated my apartment. Like, it just this one just didn't turn out. It just didn't turn out. And that's okay, because sometimes your greatest plans don't always work out. And I have learned, me personally, so just vulnerable moment right here, I enjoy the anticipation as much as the event. So for me, just the anticipation of like getting stuff ready and doing it and filming it was a lot of fun for me, even though it didn't turn out. I still got a product out of it that I'm able to share with you, and you're getting to see just a little bit of trial and error on my part as I go into the holidays. So I hope that you enjoyed this somewhat awkward video, but if you did, make sure that you like and subscribe. That really helps out my channel, and it will also help other people get to see this as well, because like I said, I also, throughout the year, I do some discussions about like what I'm reading in scripture. I do just little infomercials, more or less, about things that you can do to help your small groups and your Sunday school classes. And I hope that you are enjoying this, especially once I start going out on the road again. I'm starting to talk with my sister about some places that we might want to go for our yearly sister vacation and some things like that. So I'm going to be looking at my calendar here pretty soon to start mapping out where I'm going to be going for the next year. So I hope to see you again tomorrow for more Vlogmas. Bye!